Motion presets are pretty cool, and as we saw in the last chapter, you can use them as a starting point for your animations. But sometimes you want something completely different. In this chapter, we're going to take a look at how to make motion tweens from scratch, and then you can even start to build up your own custom preset library. If you've already got the file you used in your last chapter, you're all set up. But if you're starting fresh like me, you'll want to go to your project files and open up Chapter 5 and the Flash Site 5 start file. And what I'm going to do is go over to File, Save As. I'll go to my desktop, our project files, and we're going to save this into our Flash website folder as Flash Site. If you've already got one in there, just go ahead and write over it. I'll click Yes to overwrite that one, and we're ready to get going. Now in this chapter, I want to take a look at creating a motion tween from scratch. So let me back up my timeline here a little bit. And let's focus on the camera that we set up in the previous chapter. We've got a motion tween already on there, and that's indicated by the blue. And if I select it, we can also see that path that was created. Now we can remove an existing motion tween anytime we need to, and I'll do so by selecting the tween, going up to my Insert menu, and choosing Remove Tween. If I click away from everything, you can see that it's all turned gray, and that indicates that it's just static. My camera's just sitting there, and it doesn't have any motion at all. Now, first you might think our camera disappeared, but I still have a keyframe that looks like it has some graphics inside of it. So let's click on that frame span, and there you can see our camera. Now, what happened here is we were left with the first frame of our animation. And if you remember, the preset we had on here started with the camera at an alpha of 0, and it faded in as it moved. So let's fix that right away. I'm just going to click on this invisible camera icon, and that should bring up our movie clip properties over here, including down in our color effect, the alpha property, and there we can see it's 0. So let's just bring that up to 100 so we can see what we're working on. Let me just click away again. We've got our camera and we can see it now, but it's still static. It's still not got any movement to it at all. To add a motion tween, all we have to do is click on that span, and you can click either on the span or you can click on the graphic itself, either way. Go up to your Insert menu again, and this time we'll insert a motion tween. Now, when I click away from that, you can see the familiar blue that we saw from before that indicates we've got a motion tween. We can also click on that span, and you can see in the Properties window that it says Motion Tween, confirming we have one. Now, we didn't actually have to remove the last motion tween. We could have written right over it with a new motion tween if we wanted to. Also note that the new motion tween simply fit the span that we already had. Now, if you just start with one keyframe, it'll generally drop in about 25 frames to start you off, but we know we can change the span anytime we want to. Now, we have a motion tween, but we don't really have any motion. If I move the timeline around, you can see the camera isn't going anywhere. So you could kind of consider this a blank motion tween. Now, it's pretty easy to fill in some motion. All we have to do is move the playhead down to the end. And if that was our start point for the camera, we can just move the camera where we want it to be in the end position. I'll just drag it over here to the right. We'll kind of set it up in the right corner like we did before. And there we can see our characteristic path. And we can also see that we've created motion. Now at this point, we basically have what we had before when we were using the presets. I don't have as many settings, but I can easily go back to the beginning of this one and change the start point. Let me pull this down off the stage a little bit, and we can see we stretch the path down towards that new starting point. And I can even grab a hold of this path and make it into an arc, just like we did before. So we're talking about the same kinds of settings.